It's definitely larger compared to the last generation. Isn't going to be as linear as you wish. The SUV like this, that's really powerful. Handles wise, it's pretty solid. Hey guys, this is Yu. Welcome to the channel. This is the all-new MG ZS Hybrid Plus. These will replace the current MG ZS and the ZST range. For the future lineup, these will be introduced in petrol variants, hopefully next year, and this right now is available in the hybrid drivetrain. First thing, the New Zealand pricing, 36,990 plus ORC for the Excite, more like a basic train, where this one, Essence, will cost you 39,990 plus ORC. If you're looking to purchase one of these vehicles, especially around Auckland, contact me. I'll leave my contact details down below. Next, the overall dimensions on the vehicle, it's definitely larger compared to the last generation or the current ZS generation. 4.4 meters long, that means it's actually 107 millimeters longer than the last ZS. The wheelbase is also stretched, the width are identical, the height are identical to be fair. At the front, this is the big change. You got the new nice slim look grille and new LED headlights. The whole front looks just like a combination of the MG3 and also the MG HS. Do you like this front? I think it looks fun. I don't mind it at all. On the side, 18-inch alloys are available on the Essence, where 17-inch alloys are available on the Excite. On the side, some chrome finish underneath, chrome in the center, and chrome on the top on the roof rails. I would say really want it to be a black pack or something like that, but MG still carry on with the sort of chrome finish over here. At the back, it's a generic look. I don't think the taillights are really exciting to be fair. MG logo looks normal, ZS Hybrid Plus looks normal. Some black panels underneath and fake exhaust over here because the exhaust pipe is actually underneath. But anyway, do you like the rear? I think I like the front and like the side, definitely more than the rear. There are some black trims over here too. Don't forget, all the new MG in New Zealand, Australia gets you a 10-year or 250,000 kilometers warranty. So that's a big benefit for this particular vehicle. Now let's go to the boot just to look at the boot space. Still manual tailgate, no power tailgate on the ZS again. Now we are getting two-level storage compartment on the new ZS as well. There's no space saver since you get the battery, you get the components underneath, just a mobility kit. Slide this down just like that. That means you are getting as big as 443 liters boot space, which is a lot more compared to the last generation. If you want as close to flat floor, you are able to push this up just like that. Now, if we drop down the rear seats, combined volume is going to be 1,453 liters, and it is still very much larger compared to the last generation due to the extension on the wheelbase and the length of the vehicle. Now let's go to the second row to see how the second row looks like. At the front, that's my sitting position, about 178 centimeters tall. Let's step inside. Still plenty of legroom. That's enough. Plenty of foot space, plenty of headroom as well, even with this panoramic sunroof. The overall width and length are really enjoyable. So pockets over here, air vents, and one single USB charging. Still no armrest on the ZS, which is, yeah, that's what's missing on the previous one anyway. Door trims, there are some sort of hard to soft plastic over here, some sort of trims over here, some leather over here. Let's close the door. It's all right. That's right. One thing I really like is a large window over here. That means sitting in a small car or compact size SUV like this, you feel it's really spacious and this is pretty bright as well. Seats okay, and yeah, I think it's a little bit more enjoyable compared to the last generation, the MG ZS or ZST in particular. Another thing I want to talk about, finally, another thing has done right by MG is a 40-60 split seats, and also when you push the seats back up, the seatbelt does not get in the way. I like it on the new MG HS, I like it on the new ZS Hybrid. Now this is what the front looks like. Again, leather trim is available on the higher spec Essence, where the base model will get manual adjustment driver seat plus all the fabric seating material, which is fun, I guess, for majority of the people. Now let's switch this on. First, initially, no sound since this is a hybrid. You can see the EV that's engaged. Steering functions and all that things feels identical to the MG HS, or the buttons are similar. Now in front of us, that's the new dashboard. I think that's 9-inch display or 8-inch display, but I could be wrong. You are able to change the middle screen, just like the old ZST Essence with the digital screen, but the graphic is definitely quite a lot different. On the side, you get rev counter or something about the charging on the right, about driving and speedo on the left. Underneath, you see some symbols about normal driving modes, ready, and things like that. It's pretty easy to use of that thing. Again, I'll do some tutorials on how to use every single features on this vehicle in the future. When we move in the center, this is a nice step up from all the other MG screens. First thing, when you touch it, it gives you a sort of matte finish feel on this finger. It just doesn't get you too much fingerprints on this particular screen. Next thing, they are in a very different shape, although it's still boxy, so the screen itself, it feels very nice flash against this dashboard panel. It's not a pop-up screen, it's not getting in the way and things like that. And last thing, smooth, very smooth. You touch anything, it's a really quick responsive screen compared to even the HS. I think this is a little bit faster in some way, which I don't know why. Anyway, next thing is the camera. You can see the cameras are all fairly clear. I don't think you complain about the camera. Things like that. You got built-in navigation, you got MG iSmart connection, you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. That's going through a USB-A port underneath. No wireless phone charging, but USB-C charging and 12-volt socket is all there. Quick buttons underneath is all very satisfying. If we hear the click, quite satisfying. I quite like it. I don't mind these buttons. Feels a lot more solid compared to, again, the last generation or even some other MGs. When moving to the center console, some silver trims, a very sort of cool looking gear selector. You don't need to hold anything, you just push it forward backwards to change between R, neutral, and drive. P is over here, start button is over here, handbrake and drive mode selection is over here. You might have something missing like the auto hold and things like that. They are all under here. If you do a swipe down, even for the lane keeping, you get a small screen over that. And glove box on the side is decent. Some cover over here. I don't know what you're going to use that. Maybe your small smartphone. Cup holders on here is okay, but it's quite cool. You can actually slide this forward and backwards. That creates a small or big or medium on both sides cup holders. Storage is okay. Storage door bins on the side is okay as well. In terms of qualities, leather finish steering is really nice. And there are some leather material on these door handles, where at the back, that's actually plastic. Some leather red finish over here, leather red finish over here. Soft touch on the top, they're not hard plastic, and leather finish over there. I don't think they're genuine leather, they are just a vegan leather or whatever you want to call it. Sunroof is just like the old MG ZST, no change at all. Sunglass holder, no change at all. Alright, we are ready to go. Before we go out of the car park, let's quickly look at the visibility around this vehicle. Wind mirrors on the side are large. There's a space between the wind mirror and the A-pillar that's going to see your giveaway and things like that. Rear windscreen is medium size, no issue at all. On the side, pretty good. That one is really good because I mentioned at the back, the window is really large. So yeah, that's quite good visibility. No privacy glass, by the way, even for the Essence spec, so you are going to need the window tints if you are purchasing something like this. Alright, let's test the acceleration really quick before we do anything else about the power drivetrain. So from the start, about 5 kilometers, 1, 2, 3. A bit wheel spin when we go uphill, but after that, it's quite aggressive actually. Test again. Going downhill is going to be quite fast, of course. Anyway, let's go through some power numbers on this vehicle. 1.5 liter petrol motor, 4-cylinder, combined with a 1.83 kilowatt hour battery at the back. So identical drivetrain compared to the MG3 hybrid that was released earlier this year. The combined power is a little bit different, 158 kilowatts and 467 Newton meters of torque, coming from both the electric motor and also the petrol motor. So that's quite a lot in terms of power deliveries and things like that. For small or to medium-sized SUV like this, that's really powerful. The fuel efficiency on this vehicle is rated to be 4.7 liters per 100 k's. I won't be able to know the fuel efficiency until I start driving a little bit more on this vehicle, so I will report that on the channel in the future. But when I drove the MG3 hybrid, I can achieve the best around 3.5, 3.7 liter per 100 k's, but worst could be close to 5 liter. I'm going to say this will be a little bit more than the MG3, but yeah, should be on par with the numbers, similar or close to the MG3 numbers. Online, the vehicle is advertised to be a 3-stage hybrid transmission, but in real, it doesn't work like anything to a 3-speed or 4-speed or anything like that. The vehicle felt a lot more like a particular, maybe a CVT or really easy to work on automatic transmission. Very smooth to work with, and you're not going to be worrying about anything related to pickup and things like that. Getting up to the speed is super easy on this vehicle. I know the elephant in the room is going to be questions about these hybrid drivetrains, as many testers or reviewers are going to say, well, you test this vehicle a couple of times from 0 to 100 and eventually the EV power is just going to be gone and you don't have the power to pick up after certain Ks at 80 or 90 or something like that. It's just only the 1.5 liter motor is working along while the EV battery is being drained. I think hopefully the software will come out later to reserve the battery level. But at the same time, I've been driving the MG3 hybrid for many kilometers. I think I clocked 3,000 or more than 3,000 Ks in one of the vehicle. I've never got into a situation where I exhaust the whole battery charge on that vehicle. Those reviewers do different things, like unlike a normal human being like you and me watching this video. We're going to drive the vehicle at a much more conservative way. When we drive around the streets, motorway and things like that, you're not going to do launch control every 20 seconds on this sort of vehicle. So it's not really something you actually really need to worry when you drive something like this. Again, that's my 2 cents. You could agree or disagree, but let me know your comments and let me know what you think about my thoughts about those things. Anyway, other things, suspension wise, this is the McPherson struts at the front and torsion beam struts at the back. So unlike some other modern vehicles, you may get multi-link at the back, and this doesn't feel the most comfortable compared to some other certain vehicles, but at the same time, it's probably enough for New Zealand and Australian roads. Handles wise, it's pretty solid. Front wheel drive gives this car a very good sort of confidence and small turning circle when you go around corners like this. And just as I explained, the power is always there, it's effortless. We're driving on the HEV mode right now, so combined you're getting hybrid and also petrol. Alright, let's quickly try a sneaky acceleration just around here to see how the acceleration is like. 1, 2, 3. EV, HEV, and accelerating, just like that. I don't want to go too fast, obviously being on a small road like this. But yeah, the 0 to 100 k's timer on this sort of vehicle is 8.7 seconds, which is pretty fast for a size of this vehicle. It's another start from 20. Again, that's pretty fast. It's quite smooth. Overall, you're not going to feel the gear change at all. Something on this car is just really easy to work on. Not stressful at all, for sure. And going from 0 to 120 k's in terms of speed zones or speed gap, the vehicle will engage quite different cycles on the drivetrain. At low speed, when the EV is charged, you are going to get something like a EV mode. So the vehicle will drive on EV, so it saves your fuel, saves your petrol motor to engage and things like that. When your speed is a little bit higher, let's say between 60 to 80, something around that, the vehicle can still drive on EV mode, but the petrol motor are going to perform like a generator. So that means it's going to keep charging your EV motor, and then the EV motor will still power the vehicle. Then eventually your petrol motor will kick in as a main power resource or as a combined power source on the HEV. So that's eventually going to be called HEV mode or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, quite a smart cycle, but overall in terms of daily drive, you don't really need to care about it. You don't need to watch where the vehicle is on driving on EV or HEV all the time. What you need to do is just put your foot down and the vehicle will change for you. Will change its mode, will change its style and things like that. There are different drive modes available. Right now we are driving on Sport, so that means pedal response is really smooth, 1, 2, 3. And I'll just go just like that. Handling wise, I think it's pretty good. Corner wise, just really confident. With me being in the car, it does feel the weight is quite well distributed at the front, at the back. The noise level is okay. It's going to be a bit more refined compared to the last generation, but not by a huge margin, I would say. You might be able to find some cars on the market being a bit more relaxing to drive compared to the ZS Hybrid Plus. But at the same time, I think most people are not going to be complaining about the drive on this vehicle. Another thing on the driving I forgot to mention is the regenerated braking. So you get 3 levels you are able to adjust. So level 2 is what we are riding on right now, and it's also the default setting. So it's sort of medium level regeneration. You are going to feel it. If I release the pedal now, you can see that changes. Just like that. You can change to level 3. It's going to be quite heavy compared to even an electric vehicle. Where changing to level 1, it's going to be quite close to just simply coasting around. That really depends on what you prefer. You can adjust it only in the center screen. There's no direct buttons or anything like that. But what that means is you are getting good amount of regeneration on this vehicle. At the same time, it's feeding some power back to the drivetrain. So easy to work with. And right now at low speed, hear the sound. Very little road noise and there's no motor noise. And that's how the cool thing about electric cars or hybrid cars. They're just really silent, really quiet when you drive on surface like this. And when you stop, no sound, no engine noise at all. The only thing I should probably mention is about this braking. So the good thing about the regenerative braking, you are going to get more power to the EV charge. You are going to, reserve some of the power to your battery and things like that. But at the same time, the vehicle aren't the easiest to control the pedal at low speed. So how that works is when you use your mechanical pedal on your first maybe 20% to 40% of the travel, the vehicle will try to use its regenerative braking to slow the vehicle down, and eventually when you need to actually go to a complete stop, the vehicle would then engage the mechanical brake, your brake pads touching the brake rotors to stop the vehicle. The transition in between that isn't going to be as linear as you wish. It's not the smoothest, and on some situations you may find you are actually pressing the pedal quite gently and the vehicle eventually will brake for you. But yeah, that's just the way of the hybrid braking and electric vehicle braking. I haven't seen any of the cars that's done really well on that, unless they're not giving you much of the regeneration. As soon as you get some regeneration on your pedal, you just can't perfection it. But it's just the way it is. Anyway, let's go back to maybe the normal mode just to see how we are. What's that flashing about? Anyway, at low speed around town, it's really relaxing to drive. There's just no noise and no weird things going on. I really like the screen. Again, I have to mention that the screen just kind of blends with the center console. If you don't want to look at it, you don't have to look at it. You can turn it off, you can turn it into dark mode. But if you want to look at it, it's just right there. It's easy to reach. Unlike some other vehicles, you have to reach on the top, you have to go further down and things like that. Again, I'll do some tutorials on this channel to show you how the screen, how everything works. So do subscribe and like. That would be really, really helpful for the channel to grow. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I wish to talk about on the new ZS Hybrid. I hope you enjoy the contents. If you do, do not forget to subscribe and like. That's the best way to support the channel. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.